Hey everybody, it's the coach. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Up next, we've got what should be a great matchup between the Philadelphia Eagles and the San Francisco 49ers. With that, let's get you out to Silicon Valley, Levi Stadium in Santa Clara, as we welcome in our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, you're used to rain all the time over there in Orlando. It is a much less frequent occurrence here, yet wet weather squarely in the forecast this afternoon in Santa Clara, California at Levi's Stadium. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence among pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Philadelphia Eagles and the San Francisco 49ers. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Godden. And Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
Toward the halfway point of the NFL season, Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. So now here comes the Eagles offense as they get ready to take over. Leading the charge under center will be their 6'5" quarterback, Carson Wentz.
And I'll bet right now it's just one thought in his mind.
Win the game, yeah.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt. He played pretty well. I mean, he didn't turn over the ball in terms of interceptions,
no,
right?
Two touchdown passes last week.
Two touchdown passes, but when your team doesn't win, that's just hollow. And the best quarterbacks don't care about anything but whether or not their team won.
Ito Smith, his first carry. And that's not the start that he was looking for, as he's going to be met and dropped behind the line. It'll go as a loss of 3 right away, and it's second down.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. From the shotgun, they run with Smith. Oh, good move. 9 good yards there on the run, and now 3rd down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And they'll look to avoid an early 3 and out here on 3rd and 4. Wentz going to throw. Got his man. It's Arcega-Whiteside. The Red Sea parts, and there he goes. Touchdown, Philadelphia. J.J. Arcega-Whiteside. His 3rd touchdown now on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. It was 3rd and medium. They popped the short pass, looking to pick up the first, accomplish that mission, and then they accomplished a lot more on that mission all the way for the score.
Let me focus in on one word you used, pop, right? They popped the short pass, and then what happened after that? They popped the big run, because now, once he caught it, didn't have anyone else in the vicinity to bring him down, and he takes off, and he kept going. Nice gutsy call, even better execution.
Jason Myers now for the extra point. And we'll see if this rain affects the team's decisions going forward, but they kick it here, and it's good. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And it was capped off by an Eagles touchdown. after the touchdown. Here's Myers to boot it away. This will be taken in at the 1. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. So here's the first drive now for the 49ers. And we get a glance here at their leader, the man who will be calling the plays under center.
And what I'm looking for from him today, the things every quarterback is looking to do. Lead his team to a victory. Doesn't matter whether he's throwing it, running it, handing it off, however he has to do it, as well as exhibiting some leadership, that's what he's trying to accomplish.
They'll run on first down. It's Ramsey, and he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. Now we'll get a stoppage here as it appears we've got an Eagle slow to get up. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. Three yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Here's a 2nd and 7. And he whips that one incomplete there. For the Eagles, a look now at the starters on the defensive side of the ball. They're trying to cover up some holes in the secondary. Right now, bottom 5 in the league against the pass at number 28.
They'll take that play right there each and every snap because throughout this season, they've given up some big plays. To be able to hold someone to no gain, oh, yeah, they'll take that one all game long.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. Looking to throw. McClellan is going to – and that's caught inside the 35. A big play there for the Niners. 42 yards.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great. And what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. On first down, Ramsey. He'll get the first down and more inside the 20. And he's all the way down to the 13-yard line. 18 yards, first down Niners. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? Because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
Right back to him on first down. The yards won't come so easy as they'll, in fact, tackle him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13. That loss of 3, a rare stumble on a promising drive. Here's 2nd and 13. 2nd and 13. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. It was Breeland Speaks getting home to the quarterback that time.
I spent a lot of extra time preparing for this game, watching this offensive line, because they gave up 5 sacks last week in their loss. They just gave up another one now. They don't seem to be working together as a cohesive unit. Right? 4 guys might have it right, but the 5th guy is giving something up. They've got to find a way to all get on the same page.
Flushed out right. And that is incomplete.
That's a good job there creating the contact to force the incompletion. And now, since it's 4th down, that should set up a field goal situation.
And a nice sigh of relief defensively to be able to hold them to 3. And his kick is right there. It's good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So, yes, it's only 3, but at least they're able to answer back after giving up the touchdown to start the game.
Yeah, I like the observation there because getting some points on the board, very positive for them. Feel a little bit better about things because if you don't score, you potentially have opened the door for them to score again, and then you're down 14.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. They had the touchdown on the opening drive of the ball game. It was countered by just a field goal. So, hey, if your guys can do that for 4 quarters, you're in good shape.
Yeah, it is a team game, so that's just good complimentary football. But, you know, I know I'm no brainiac, but you trade 6s for 3s, things are going to work out in your favor.
Quickly now, a look at the Eagles' offensive starters.
And we expected to have already talked about this unit. We didn't get a chance to hit on them on the opening drive because they scored so quickly. But that's the kind of unit this is. A quick strike offense. I expect to see them taking their shots all game long. And if that's the case, we'll find ways to talk about this group.
Now Ito Smith, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. A tackle for loss there. 2 last week. He's tough to handle coming off the edge.
And when you talk about a defensive end, your first thought is how does he rush the passer? That's where he makes his big plays getting into the backfield. But the best ones can play the run as well. And that's what we're seeing from him, that excellent combination of holding the point of attack and also getting upfield to make plays in the backfield.
It's a gain of 13 and a 1st down for Philadelphia. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a 1st down.
A 1st down carry for Smith. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. Philadelphia picking up the 1st on a gain of 15.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another 1st down with that run.
Now this one complete on the slant route. The numbers for him from a week ago. 4 catches, 54 yards.
And he's able to pull that last pass in, but this is usually a pretty tough unit to try and maneuver against. They're in the top 10 in the league against the pass, and you and I both know there's not much difference between 1 and 10.
So 2nd and inches after that 1st down completion went just shy of the marker. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. Trying to defend the out route there, got the PI call.
And you know what's difficult about that one is sometimes you want to make the undercut move and go for the football, and other times just want to hang on the upfield shoulder and make the tackle. I think he got caught in between and created a foul.
After the penalty, it's Smith. A gain of 3, 2nd down. A look now at our starting defense. They're right around the middle of the pack, number 15 in the NFL against the run.
They're not an elite unit. They're not, as what you'd say, the top part of the league against the run. They're a solid group, though. They do a good job. What they're looking for in this one, though, is an elite performance.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. A give to Smith out of the gun. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down.
Count me as a little bit surprised by what we just saw there because this has been a pretty long drive. And normally you think that wears down a defense. In this case, it looked like the offensive line let him down a little bit.
They allowed the penetration and the ability to stuff him for a loss. And down he goes. A coverage sack. Took too long to get rid of it.
I don't think there could have been a better pocket for him to throw from, yet he never got rid of the football, and it goes down as a sack.
I mean, he had time to build a campfire back there. He still couldn't get rid of it.
I'll bring the s'mores next time.
On now is the kicker, Jason Myers, for the field goal try. It'll be spotted on the right hash. A 52-yard attempt. And that will line up just short. He had it on line. It ran out of gas at the end, and this score will stay right where it is.
Now, if this was a clear day in September, I'd say this is well within his range. I'd feel very confident about this kick, but let's be honest about it. In these elements, the difficulty level gets ratcheted up by at least a factor of 5.
The San Francisco offense getting their last-minute instructions before they take over here. And last time, able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Here's 2nd and 8. His throw incomplete. So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Flag comes in. This might be a free play. Completes it to Samuel.
Offside, defense.
So with the completed pass and the yardage they got, they'll decline the penalty.
The penalty is declined.
So obviously, more yards on the pass completion than they would have gained with the penalty. They did the math. They did it well, and it works for them.
Good work that time to get them to jump, and now here's 1st and 10. Now a give, right side. It's Ramsey. On the tackle, it was the West Virginia man, Kaiser White.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
They'll run. It's Dorsett, and he's able to carve out about 6 there, down to the 37. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6. Now Dorsett. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. He needed a yard. That's what he got, and it's going to earn him a new set of downs.
Well, partner, what do you think? Might have been 4-down territory if they didn't pick it up, but...
Yeah, it's a moot point now. I was curious, so if they didn't get it there, would they have gone for it? I guess we'll never know.
Yeah, we didn't have to make that call, but I have a feeling both of us would have said, go for it.
Now a nice play defensively on 1st down as this is knocked away and incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Escaping the pressure right. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete.
Pass interference.
Well, let's see who this is on. So they saw the contact before the ball arrived. Penalty flag for pass interference.
And trying to avoid pass interference is so difficult. You're trying to slow down these skilled receivers, and somehow, some way, they make plays on the football, and sometimes you're there too soon.
On 1st and 10, McClellan. Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. Carl Lawson with a little how do you do as he gets in there for the sack. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation, and there the defense won the battle. Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So it's an empty possession, and as a kicker,
he's missed a field goal here so far, Brandon, so apparently neither guy is immune.
Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Now, that was well defended, and as a cornerback, what you're taught when you see a wide receiver screen, either you get underneath the play before the blocking forms, or you're going to have to fight your way through it by getting through some blocking. That was a really nice play there.
Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. They'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for third down.
They really love to get him into one-on-one opportunities, and this is one way, work him out of the slot and create a mismatch. Who's going to cover him? Corner, safety, linebacker? He's got a way to beat all of those positions.
Wentz going to try and throw on third. And unable to connect, incomplete. Now give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up fourth down. They're going for a receiver there, already has 1 touchdown in this first half, a second one not to be.
I like where their headspace is, though. I mean, I really like the thought process, right? You got a guy who's already scored one, right? You want to go back to him, continue the hot hand, and make them adjust to you defensively. I like what they were trying to get done, even though they weren't successful.
That one sails out of bounds. The side judge will walk it off. And he says it went out of bounds at the 9-yard line. Nice punt. The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game, but this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football, because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, it puts them in that position.
They'll run on first down. Ramsey, and some room to work. 23 yards on the pickup there, and first.
He does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Now left side on the swing pass. They'll get 4 there out of the screen, and it's second down.
In order for a screen pass to break big, a lot of things have to come together and be well executed. But all it takes is one small thing to go wrong and keep it from being a big game.
Throwing again on second down, but this time it's incomplete.
There's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. Back to throw. McClellan, flush to it, and he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Carl Lawson picks up his second sack of the afternoon.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely he's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. He punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. Oh, fighting off the defender. That'll go as a 46-yard punt with a return of 7. And the Eagles will have it taking over first and 10. Carson Wentz and the Eagles getting set to take over. He's played a pretty clean first half, a touchdown, no interceptions.
Frankly, that's what they expect out of it. They want to see the ball thrown and thrown well, and he's able to do that and put it in the end zone. They'd love to see more of that before this game finishes. But right now, he's got his team in a good spot.
A good spot, maybe looking for touchdown pass number 2 here in the second quarter. Throws Wentz. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Nick Bosa, he's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use your aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to the screen soon.
And look at this, for the second straight play, the 49er defense drops them for a loss. It'll be a loss of 1, and they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here. 2 minutes to play in this first half, 7-3 our score. Coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
We
defensive series, we always talk about adjustments and usually only at halftime, but the best teams adjust series to series. And on that series, they adjusted so well that they got the job done in fine style.
Now we get a peek at the captain of this offense heading back out there. And I guess the question, Charles, is what's the formula for keeping him better protected? Because as we see, the protection, it struggled.
And normally what you get is renewed determination. When the big guy gets hit, that usually sparks people. Hey, we can't let this happen anymore. They take it personally. He's not supposed to be on the ground, but that hasn't been the case so far in this game. So maybe they've got to figure out how to get rid of the ball faster to help out the offensive line so he doesn't get hit as much.
And we'll see if they can keep him off the ground now going forward. The 49ers moving hastily. They're scurrying to the line. 2nd and 2. But he takes it up to the 40. 13 yards there and a Niner first. It was pretty evident and reading everything, hearing these guys talk, that this was a deal they wanted to get done. They know how valuable he is to this team.
Absolutely a key component of what they do and what they do well. And if they want to continue to have success in the future, they knew they needed him and they got the deal done.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, they'll place the incompletion.
Had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well.
It feels like they're getting caught in between here because they did completions on 1st and 2nd down. They got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the first down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
Now yet another incompletion here as they fail to connect on 3rd.
I think you put just a little bit too much heat on that one. When you throw it to the outside, you do have to be careful because you got to keep it away from the defender, but you also have to give your own guy a chance too.
Here comes the 49ers punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. Here comes the pressure, and the Eagles get there to block it. And they are going to take possession of the football. Now after the punt on that play, we've got a man down on the field. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. On first down, Smith. Down he goes at the 23, a pickup of 4. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Wins. Got him in, it's Brown.
We got this.
Wentz now on first down. And he's going to go down. He's sacked back at the 24. Now the Eagles will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. To throw, it's Wentz. And he finds his tight end, it's Ertz. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. From the right hash, it's a 35-yard attempt. And the 10-year vet knocks it through the goalpost. And they push the lead up to a touchdown now at 10-3. Still a little bit of time left here in the second quarter, but they do get 3 before the half and expand that lead.
And they have to be happy about that. And we haven't met a team yet that doesn't put an emphasis on trying to get points on the board in the last 2 minutes of a half. They'll be real excited to have those up on the board.
Myers now converted on the field goal try. Now he's on to kick it away. This will be fielded at the 8. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. Likely time for just one final play, and then it'll be off to the locker room to talk about how they can erase this deficit.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people look at it and go, well, maybe you take a shot here. Maybe you get some momentum going into the half. What's the flip side of that? You do something crazy, quarterback gets hit, ball comes free, and now you're down an even bigger margin. Go ahead and take this one, go to the locker room, start over.
False start, offense.
So that'll back them up 5. And that false start penalty is certainly not helping their cause here. Second down and long. The final shot before break. McClellan being chased out left. Fights off another.
I think the second tackler would have learned from the first.
And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down. So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
So after the penalty, we'll have one final untimed play here before halftime. The final shot before break. McClellan. And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard. As we send you cross-country to Orlando, Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports halftime report.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. A lot to get to here as some of the division races starting to take shape as we look around the NFL here in week number 7. We'll begin our trip around the NFL with an interesting one right off the bat, and it's the Seahawks who have the lead in that one. The Seahawks seem to be on their way to what would be a good victory. From there, we move to Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City to see what's going on with the Chiefs. And they have the lead in that one over the visiting LA Chargers. The Chiefs looking to sew that one up, and they look to be in pretty good shape. Finally, let's get down to the Bayou. Check on the Saints at home at the Mercedes-Benz Superdome. And they were winners in that one over the visiting Arizona Cardinals. Alvin Kamara, a touchdown run in the victory. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a defensive struggle. Which offense can break through in the second half? To find out, let's hand it over to our broadcast team of Brandon Gotten and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A one-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Here comes the 49ers offensive unit as they'll have it first to begin this third quarter. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half two, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. And he finds some space past the 25 to the 27. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. To throw on second down. McClellan. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's third down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. Now here's a throw right side, taken in by his tight end. Now, they've been struggling in the passing game. Do you like the aggressiveness there? I mean, it worked on that play, but do you like it?
I do, because a lot of the time you're struggling because your passing lanes are clogged. That usually happens when you're throwing the ball underneath. People start to press up on you. Push them deep. Find some space and open things up again. Being aggressive there, I think, will pay off for them.
First down, San Francisco, to pick up 14 yards. That one definitely helps as they try to push the ball down the field here, trailing early in the third quarter.
And even though they're trailing, not abandoning the running game. People may call it an adjustment. I think it's just much more sticking to what works for you and continuing to have faith in it. And the running game is starting to pay off.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. They'll wind up with 7 on the dump-off, but it'll set up third down. The Eagles call on the extra defensive back here as they prepare for a stop on third down. Now it's Dorsett, and he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain that time, and they're going to be left looking up at a 4th and 1.
I apologize in advance, partner, but the beefeaters on the interior of this D-line, you just know they were licking their chops on 3rd and short. And yes, they were rewarded with a tasty dish, stuffing that one short of a first down.
Well, close game, second half. You obviously hate to leave 3 out on the field.
Especially in a game like this when you know points are hard to come by. That was one of their best opportunities so far, and they come away with nothing.
So here are the Eagles now as they get set for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
Yeah, how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now and show them a little respect and some gratitude by scoring some points.
And to get a little more cushion. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Well, the second down throw on target.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
He's going to let this one go deep. Got a man, it's caught at the 6-yard line. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. And yes, they want the points, so they will decline the penalty. No question there.
You don't think they spent a couple of seconds mulling over what the penalty would do for them?
I don't even know why they asked the sideline.
Not at all. When you put the ball in the end zone on a takeaway, take the points and keep moving.
The extra point now coming from Myers. It's up and good, and that makes it 17-3. Scoring summary, 3-play drive. The result, Philadelphia in the end zone. And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. As San Francisco gets set to go here. And they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board. But let's face it, we've been there. We've seen teams before. They were counting on those points. They didn't get them. Can they come back now, start over again, and grind it out?
Now a man open down the middle of the field. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. That one a first down pickup of 8. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Looking to throw. McClellan. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on 1st down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on 1st down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
And this time he's going backwards. So after the no gain on the last attempt, here they get him behind the line.
But if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
Oh, what a move. And 9 yards there on the return following a punt of 47. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. And they've got the lead here getting late into the 3rd quarter. And the passing game for them, it's been terrific. We've seen that. But the rushing game, almost non-existent.
And with the lead and trying to finish this game off, they need the running game to come back to life. They need to get sparked that way, take some time off the clock, and keep the ball away from their opponents.
It's an Eagles 1st down on a gain of 11. They fake the give. Now Wentz. Looking left sideline, incomplete. You and I watched film yesterday, and you told me to watch his feet. Well, for whatever reason, his footwork just looked off on that throw.
And you always love it when an ex-defensive back talks quarterback mechanics, right?
Well, but you're good at it.
Well, I try, all right? I don't know how good I am, but it doesn't take much to tell. His mechanics are off a little bit, exactly what you described. Footwork, that led to the incompletion.
Now they'll try to convert on 3rd and 6 after the 4-yard completion. Now Wentz. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Nick Bosa in there to get him sack number 14 for him on the year. Here's Lachlan Edwards now as he's on to punt for Philadelphia. This is fielded at the 7. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the Niners will go on offense, 1st and 10. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
So they had the big loss on that 1st down pass play and facing a 2nd and long. 2nd and long. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Carl Joseph came roaring in on the safety blitz.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Throwing on 3rd and long. McClellan into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 29, and they will take over at the 29-yard line.
Partner, we always talk about possessions being at a premium in these games, and now in this situation, throwing an interception here when you have to claw your way back in, that one's going to hurt, and in a big way.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. J.J. Arcega-Whiteside, the intended receiver, but it's going to be second down.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
They'll run it now with Smith. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. And the trend continues here in the fourth like it was in the first, second, and third. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time.
And down he goes. They bring down Wentz on the sack.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And I don't think this has the carry. It does not. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is. Now this one now not over yet, Charles. You've got a sliver of hope on that other sideline.
You certainly do, because that would have made it a 3-score game, and that probably would have been curtains at that point. But now if they can get down the field quickly and somehow get the ball back one more time, we may have a different ball game.
At this stage, this drive's got to be touchdown or bust because you need two of them.
And if I'm the offensive play caller, I'm not just looking at my dagger plays downfield. I'm looking at some of my specials, something that can fool them and give you a big play now.
With a sense of urgency.
No doubt.
A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. Now, yes, a 2-possession game, but a good chunk of time on the clock, so they have the ability still there to run it on second and short, but maybe they need to pick it up a bit.
You're right. They did pick up the first down there, but they, as you mentioned, they have to pick up the pace now because it's a 2-possession game. They've got to get there twice to make sure they have a chance to win.
It's a loss of a yard there, and it's second down. Continues to be a struggle for this offense and this home crowd. They're growing a little restless here in the second half.
And I think they've just got to look at how they're trying to move the football. Yeah, you want to run it, but maybe you spread it out, maybe some swing passes that can take the place of runs and give you...
And he's going to be hit and taken down. Back right around the 48-yard line. Fletcher Cox able to get in there for his second sack of the afternoon. Offensively, they're going to have to figure this out before next week. 7 sacks in one game.
Yeah, and that's more than any quarterback should have to bear. And if this continues on, there will be another quarterback in the game because no one can stand up to this week after week.
Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
And I think we'll probably see him go for it here on fourth down. No reason not to. Down a couple of scores, they have to try and make something good happen.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on fourth down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off around the 37, and he's just across midfield and down at the 49-yard line.
Well, you're trailing, it's the fourth quarter, and you've got to throw the football. But the defense knows this too. So they're just going to sit back, bring in an extra defensive back or two, the old nickel or dime strategy, Brandon, and wait for you to put that bad boy up for grabs. And this one winds up being intercepted.
The throw right side is complete here on the first play of the drive. There he goes, right side. Touchdown, Philadelphia. 3 touchdown passes now for Carson Wentz. And the Eagles able to push further out in front. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning, right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
Now Myers for the extra point. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21 points. And we can break that scoring drive down pretty easily. One play, long touchdown pass into the end zone. And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. This is taken at his 4. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line.
Let's go!
Out comes this field general once more, leading his offense back onto the field. And that interception that ended their previous drive likely also ended any shot they had a victory.
Yeah, long road back from here, no doubt about that one. But let's face it, if you're going to go out there and compete, you want to try and end on a strong note, don't you?
Absolutely. It won't end in a victory like you said, but they can maybe take something positive out of this one. Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. He's going to take off with it. He'll end up getting 5 out of that, but now they're looking at 3rd down.
How about a tip of the cap to the defense? They're working against a very mobile quarterback, but all day long they've kept him under wraps. And on that play, they held him to a short gain.
Back to throw. McClellan, and able to haul it in is Kittle. And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 39. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. Now left side, a completion to his tight end. Give him a couple on the catch at 2nd and 8. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle him after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. A gain there of 21 yards. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
Eluding the pressure right, and he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up 2nd down. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. To throw again, McClellan. And this is intercepted, but they'll say out of bounds. Oh, very close to a turnover there in the end zone. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's 49er football here as we get you reset. They come up on a 4th down situation with things not looking particularly rosy. And his kick is good. And the deficit drops now from 21 down to 18. Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
And the Eagles dodge a bullet. They cover it up. Needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we've brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. They go back to the ground with Smith. And he's going to be down at the 35. Gain of 7. Now San Francisco going to call their 2nd timeout as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down.
Switch up. 36.
This is Smith. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. And now the Niners going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And And that one's not going to get there. Not enough juice, an ambitious effort, but it's well short. And this score will stay right where it is. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. And there are the numbers. Got off to that torrid hot start. We thought he was in for maybe a career day. Not the case.
No doubt about it. It almost looks like a misprint after what we saw in the first half. But let's give a little bit of credit to the guys on the other side of the ball. They went in at halftime, made a few adjustments, and you know what else? They didn't lose their confidence in their ability to play. Because a lot of times you get beat down in the first half, it gets ugly in the second half. They've come out with a new resolve and a renewed determination.
Here we go on 2nd and 12. Flushed out right. And he's got a man here, complete. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means they have to run extra plays. Harder to move it.
How about 25 yards on 3rd down? They'll take it.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball in the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Back of the end zone. Could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
The Niners have the first down on a gain of 11. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. 7 seconds remaining. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
Hey, Delta. Hey, Mike 52, Mike 52. Check that out.
Off the play fake, McClellan. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd. Here comes the 7th play now of this drive as this is 3rd and 10.
You better bring. Hey, wahoo! 52's the mark, boy. 52. Hey, here I come. Get it.
One final shot. They'll look to throw. Back of the end zone. Could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete. So fly, Eagles, fly. It's a victory for Philadelphia. And it was their defense that led the way, allowing just 3 points, that lone field goal in the entire second half.
And remember the old adage, offense sells tickets. Defense does what?
Wins championships.
And in this game, maybe a championship wasn't won, but a game was by the defense, right? Held them to just a field goal. That's a heck of a job. I mean, when they went out there with that determination and a pretty good game plan, pretty good idea of what they wanted to accomplish, just love the execution, love the tenacity, love the way they finished.
So for the Eagles, they move back over 500 now at 4-3. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for the Niners, the loss drops them back to 4-3 so far. And they'll be on the road next week for a matchup with the Carolina Panthers. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.